I'm not sure if this is going out yet because systems seem to have changed. So I might be talking to myself. I don't know. I need to check a couple of things to see whether I'm talking to myself or if this is going out. Oh, okay, so it's going out. Good. I'm going to read this to you guys. Okay. This is a short one, mainly to show this poor guy. Well, to show this. Dagnabbit, what's going on? Things keep messing up. There. Okay, so that's how I snap myself back. Okay, that clapping of hands is not me dismissing anything or magic trick. Okay, right. Help for Ben Bruce's family. Who's Ben Bruce? He's a man. That's who. You don't need to know any more than that. Why should his family have help? Because the guy passed away and his family was, well, newly relocated to a Central American country. So I'm going to read this, okay? Why? Because I'm going to see if I can help. If you see if you can help, if everybody sees if they can help, then we can help. If you don't, never come back to this channel. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to read this. From Ben's sisters. Ben, my brother, woke up to the truth several years ago. He has guarded and protected his family and friends ever since, culminating in Ben becoming a known truth seeker in the field of truth. Flash Gordon, Ben's childhood hero, continued to try to save the world. Finally, in June 2020, he took the decision to remove his wife and children away from their rural village in Duffield, Derbyshire, England. He and his children spent a night in Canada Airport, awaiting their flight to Mexico. His 7-year-old daughter with Williams syndrome had a particularly difficult time of it. 3 weeks into Mexico, Ben's research caused him to move his family once again, this time to Nicaragua, a place seemingly unaffected by COVID. The government there was not restricting their civilians. He made a home for his family, who were now finally happy. The children enjoyed an international school on an organic farm. They were learning to surf. Ben was learning to play cornhole. I have no idea what cornhole is, but remained dedicated to the course. Sadly, 4 weeks into their new amazing life, he suffered a massive heart attack, apparently. He's a 46-year-old without so much as a high blood pressure and no sign of ill health, dead. His family are distraught, of course. The children's wails audibly heartbreaking to us. Ben's funeral via audio from Nicaragua to the UK. We have no way of reuniting anytime soon due to COVID restrictions. We can only hope to come together sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, Lisa needs financial support to see her and the children through this very difficult period. Of course she does, before finding her way home. You have to think this. Even if you're a bit broken emotionally, you have to understand this, okay? The poor woman has to deal with the fact that her lover, the love of her life, her partner, has gone. That the person that was sharing the rearing of the children has gone. And she's got to figure out how to bring them back to England whilst grieving, or whilst in grief, okay? That's why she needs help. So I'm doing this to help if I can. The costs are eye-opening. We can only hope to come together sooner rather than later, but in the meantime, Lisa needs financial support to see her and the children through this very difficult period before finding her way home. The costs are eye-watering at a mere $13,000 to return Ben's family to their family and little rural village Duffield in England. In the meantime, Lisa needs to be able to meet all living expenses, not least to put food on the table. This shit show is not improving, in fact far from it. But we must protect the children. True story. I don't doubt it at all, because I know people that knew him, so I don't doubt it at all. Okay, so here's just some other donations. Okay, in fact, I'm going to show more. Why not? There. Okay, I haven't donated yet. Why not? I'm dirt poor. That's why. That's why I'm doing this. To try and promote, to try and help. As soon as I can, I will, of course. So, that's that. Dude, rest in peace. I say that actually smiling because the dude is resting in peace. Like, true story. Okay. Let me make sure what's going out is what I think is going out. Now we're moving on to this. I'm just going to play it. No audio. Just play it. Hey, globe believers, or flat earthers who want stuff to take to globe believers, take them this. Hey, globe believers, how come your cosmology cannot explain what you see here, but this flat earthers can? You see, this flat earther wrote the book of the sun. He understands what the sun is. He understands how this can happen. Is that the sun? No, there's no such thing as the sun. The sun is a trick of the light. There's no such thing there. Get it? It's a holoprismatic nexus of electromagnetic field lines or filaments. In physics, you'll often hear the term field discussed. Never defined. Ever, never, ever defined. In fact, what I will do now is I will go to Wikipedia. And we will look up what a field is in physics. I hope this is showing. Electron emission, there you go. That will do. Field. Oh, no. All right, no, it's not talking about the field, is it? No, of course not. Field. 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 Agriculture. Aerodrome, battlefield, lawn, meadow, playing field, arts and media, organizations, people, places. Oh, science. Field. Computing science and field programmability. And geology. Let's see. An electronic device capability. Nope, nope. Huh, that's interesting. Oh, right. Here, maybe in the mathematics. Maybe there they've got something. Let's see. Field. In mathematics, a field is a set on which addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division are defined and behave a corresponding operation in rational and real numbers do. Oh, you mean a mental construct, yeah? Not a real thing, because, you know, you're talking mathematics, which is automatically a translation of something, not the real thing. Right, so, oh, looks like they don't know what field. Oh, here, physics, let's see. In physics, a field is a physical quantity represented by a physical quantity, okay, represented by a number or tensor that has a value for each point in space and time. For example, on a weather map, blah, blah, blah. We don't need all of that gibberish. Oh, so, yeah. I will actually read it because it's just fantastic. For example, on a weather map, the surface temperature is described by assigning a number to each point on the map. The temperature can be considered at a certain point in time or over some interval of time, just to read the dynamics of temperature change. A surface wind map, assigning an arrow to each point on a map that describes the wind speed and direction at that point, would be an example of a vector field. No. It would be an example of directionality! Do you see? Directionality. That's all. Vector field. Vector field. Oh, look at all those directionality arrows. Sorry, what are vectors? Sorry, what? What are vectors? Right, so they don't know what a field is. That's where they're going into mathematics. They just don't know. Now let's look at electromagnetic fields. An electromagnetic field, classical non-quantum field produced by electric charge. Oh wait, nothing to do with vectors and imaginary things. Oh no, oh right, okay. In the field described as classical electrodynamics, classical counterpart quantized electromagnetic field tensor, and quantum electrodynamics. The electromagnetic field propagates. Oh, a field propagates, does it? So they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what the time is. So I'm going to play this some more. Globling, explain this, sir. Girl, woman, whatever you are. Explain it, please. All of the Globlings that I've debated, who watch my channel, because I know you do, why don't you just add your little comment to what you think this is? Explain this. You cannot explain. Obviously, you cannot explain it because your cosmology does not actually apply to the real world. We're looking at the real world. Therefore, your cosmology cannot describe it because your cosmology does not describe the real world. My cosmology is based on the real world. So it does describe it and it explains it. So now I'm going to move on and play this. And leave you. I'm going to go in the chat whilst I play this. Thank you to Danny Diesel for this. And this is just for a laugh, just because. Just because.
Hello, look what I have. I have the lunar lander, one of the lunar landers that landed on the moon. This is definitely one of the lunar landers that landed on the moon. It's not something made for a school play by the art department or anything like this. So, we're going to make some observations. Observation number 1, no windows. So there's no air pressure on the moon, so they can't use a barometric altimeter. So how do they know how far they are from the surface of the moon? Don't know. Maybe this is why they didn't have to use this. The jet here in the bottom, you see how there is no little sign here of disturbance? There is no little crater or anything. No, it's because the gravity is only 1/6. So it could just fall gently. So, okay, so it falls gently. Now, let's have a closer look. Let's do this. And let's see. What material is this? What is this? With all this buckling. And let's look closer. Look. You see here at the top, they started with very good intentions. They said, we are going to make this look very neat and everything will be very great, okay? And they have these bendy over things that they put a nail through. Dun, 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 dun. And then they just ran out. They ran out of them. So they just use a press-on stud. And here is a very important bendy thing. They had another one, so they use it here. And some more press-on stud. You can see by this shape here, the highlight here, you see, and a little bit of highlight here, compared to the low light here and the highlight here, you can tell that this is a thin material. It's not a thick material like drywall, plastering, something. No, this is more like parcel paper, okay? So, another nail here, another nail here, another one here, and some more buckling. Look at this buckling. Whoa, it's a like big S shape. So, and this here, somebody put this for a joke, so that stupid people will think, oh, this must be very important, it must be some sensor. No, it was here for a joke, this is all. And whoever put it there will be laughing, or will, if he didn't die already. So this not look like very much like precision engineering. Look at this, it's a bit too big. And look, not even a straight line. So look here, again, a bit of mistake. There are two kinds of artists in the world. There are the artists that like to draw freehand, and then there are the artists that like to draw with a ruler. And artists that like to draw with a ruler, because they are jealous of the people that can draw freehand, so what they do is they make extra lines. They put extra angles like this. They like to do this. It's to compensate, you know. So they do all these things just because they like to use the ruler, and they like to say, look, I can do octagonal shape here, and then I can work out how to do the shapes that converge on a point. And they are very proud of this. But this looked like it was designed by somebody who is kind of good with a ruler, but not very good with aesthetics, or not very good with dynamics, and not very good with fluid line. you can see there is no fluid line here. So now let's look at these here. See, one here, another one here, another one here. These multi-directional jets. Okay. Here there is a guard because the jet is going to come out very hot and it's gonna here. And there is another guard because the jet is gonna come very hot and go here, very hot. And here, oh, there is no guard, but it's going to come here, just like this one, no? It's going to fall here, but no guard. It must have fallen off. Let's see. Maybe it's this here, but maybe it's here in the shadow and we cannot see it. I don't know, but there is definitely not here because if you look how close the guard is to the bottom of this inverted cup, look how close there, look how close here, and look how it's not there at all. So now let's look at one more thing. You see these things here, the padding here with the press studs? This looks like a BMX card for the crossbar, but it's too thick, it's not for a real BMX. But look, here, press stud, okay, and here, press stud, but here, tape, and here, not even tape. This is like the rubber padding that you get for things. Can you see? You can see the gap there and there, okay? And people will say, "You stupid, this is for heat resistance." It's like, okay, if this is for heat resistance, why they use cardboard here? This doesn't look like very heat resistance. And look here, this little pointy thing. If you look close, it looks like it's a peephole. It looks like somebody inside looking. Or maybe this is directional and somebody look and there's a little mirror here and they could see the lunar floor, and this is how they look it. And it doesn't matter about this big gap here or all the crimping, and it doesn't matter about all this. The stains, it doesn't matter about the stains. It doesn't look, this is definitely, it means that this definitely worked because you can see all this here. It's not like somebody is spitting on it to make it look wet. No, don't be so silly. And look, all this precision engineering. I would like engineers to look at this and to write to me and tell me that this really is the result of precision engineering, especially the way that this overhang, okay? And let's look some more. Oh yes, look, see all this gold here, framing this kind of thing, this bigger space there. Is this a hot dog? No, it's not a hot dog. But anyway, this with the buttons, something very important for him to do. In this part of the lunar lander that stayed on the moon, because this is the part that went off when the camera was filming, and people say, so who was using the camera? And people say, oh, it was the people in ground control controlling it remotely. Like, wow, mega long distance remote control, huh? But anyway, so this gold framing this box, this would have acted like a capacitor when they were going through the Van Allen radiation belt. So all this heating proofing here, it doesn't matter, this here would have made the whole thing melt. And all of this, everything, all of it, melt as they go through the Van Allen radiation belt. Either melt or lose the atomic bonding and make all of the atoms separate and fly off without association with another atom. Maybe, who knows? NASA doesn't. So yes, now even though I'm pointing this out, people will come to me and say, look, the reason they use black here is because it's very important. And here, if they didn't use black, they would have all died. And here, they didn't need black. Or here, or here. Or this little piece here, it didn't need black. Okay? People will still say to me, you're so stupid. They went out of the Earth in a rocket. And then they separated, and it separated into two units that were together. The other unit, they stayed took this all the way to the moon, and then this separated from that unit, and then this landed, and the other unit carried on going around doing orbits of the moon, while this one was landing and they were doing things on the moon. And then this one took off, and the top bit here attached again to the other one that was orbiting the moon, and the one that was orbiting the moon took them all the way back to the Earth. Okay, this is what people will still say even when you show that this is like cardboard or maybe plaster for doing drywalling. Look at these lines, okay? Look, I'm looking to see if there's a lemon hanging from the top, like a Grissom pot, but no lemon. Look at this crimping, okay? If you really think this went to the moon, and you think I am a retard for thinking this did not go to the moon, then maybe you should go and have your IQ evaluated. Well, not your IQ. Maybe your IQ is very high. You should have your common sense evaluated, okay? Go to the people who like you the least and ask them what their opinion of you is. Whether they think that you are a well-balanced individual who has a normal sense of discernment, okay? Now, let's look here. Look. Silver foil with copper tape. Look, here is closer. It must be very important that these three are closer, okay? Dun, 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 all the way up. Let's look at the other one. Oh, it's not so important. There's not three here. Look. Three here together. Not three here together. So it's not so important. Oh, now look at here. They must have finished the tape. They started with the other one, and here they finished. They just didn't have enough, so they can only do the half. Okay? And of course, you have to shield the legs, because if you don't shield the legs, then something really bad will happen. Maybe the moon have extra corrosive qualities, and it has to be shielded like this. Okay? So, don't question NASA, or question NASA and say, what have you been showing us? What have you been doing with the money? This looked like it was made by somebody's... there are two types of very intelligent people. There are some people who are very, very intelligent with academic smarts. Okay? I knew someone like this, very intelligent, but he could not change a light bulb. Okay? This looks like what that kind of person would do if they had to, if maybe like 3 or 4 of them had to build something like this. One of them, the one who likes to say that he's very good at designing, designed it, okay? And then somebody brought them materials and said, there you go, make it with this. So they made it. But look, you see how they didn't know to put a pin there so that this doesn't buckle? You see how they didn't know to maybe move this in a little bit so it doesn't overhang? And you see all the buckling here, and all the warping, buckling and warping and everything. This is because they are not very good at doing things like changing a light bulb. So, they can't make a lunar lander, but they had to make it because they are very, very smart. So, they said, look, I'm not going to pay and make somebody sign a secret thing so that they will build a lander. They will think that we are inept and incapable and all kinds of things. So, we will make it all ourselves. You have this thing? Hey, you know that thing that you showed me the other day? Yes, let's put this on here. Yeah, it would be very funny, and people will think it's a sensor or something. And the bottom of it, don't worry about the bottom of it, okay? Don't worry. No, relax, don't worry. And what about the curtain rods? What about the curtain rods? Don't worry about the curtain rods. People will think it's an ultra powerful steel that we made especially for a metal alloy. We made especially for the lunar lander. We can sell a patent for it. We can get millions and billions. Yeah, and everything will be fine, okay? We will show this on television with bad quality. People will not be able to see all of this stuff. So, now that you have seen this, either you are an intelligent person and you think this went to the moon, Or you are an intelligent person and you think this was made by people who are not very good at art and craft, certainly not by master engineers, and this did not go to the moon. You will either be one of the very intelligent people or the other one that is very intelligent people. If you're the kind of intelligent people who say this is look like shit, then you will think maybe they didn't go to the moon and it's all a big lie. Or you maybe are the other kind of intelligent person who says it doesn't matter what it looked like, they still went to the moon. And all of these things, maybe they didn't have to be precise because of some reason that you can invent on the spot. On the spot, you will invent a reason. You will say these shapes are necessary for things. And all of this is all necessary for things. And if it were not necessary, they would not be like this. This is called rationalization. And globe earthers love to rationalize. So, rationalize this. What the hell is this here? This tape that's going down to the floor and across, and then up is clipped onto something here, and then goes up and kind of disappears here. What is that? Oh, it must be something mega important. What's in this void? Must be something very mega important. What is this? Look, it's just like it's got buttons and things. Must be mega important. Never mind the laws of experimental physics and electronics that says the whole thing would have been electrified whilst it went through the Van Allen radiation belt. Ignore that. It doesn't matter. Look at this. It's not even covering that properly. Okay? And what is this bits of stuff there? What is that? That looks like a big cable. What is this? Who knows? What is all this stuff? What's this? It looks like a bag of cement. What is that? Has he taken the helmet off? No, it looks like the helmet is there. So this is not a helmet. What the hell is this? Don't know. Okay, what is this? Don't know. What else? What is this big weird thing here? Don't know. Must be very important. So, look, the cable is going, of course, from the battery, from this, the energy to send all the picture and the sound all the way to the Earth, or all the way to the other lander, and then the other lander, the other LEM, send this over, who knows, and this here is all true, and if you think it's not true, you're a conspiracy theorist, you probably think vaccinations are not safe, you're putting everyone in danger, and you think 9/11 was not done by Osama bin Laden, and you are crazy and you are an enemy of the state, and people should put you on a no-fly list and put you in jail. That's what should happen if you think that this is showing that they did not go to the moon. Either this, or they did not go to the moon, they don't have the power that they pretend like they have, satellite spying on you and all this, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. You really don't know very much about anything, apart from things you have experience of, and all the theories you have experience of, all just fairy tales. So, enjoy the rest of your life, and if you have a problem with this, don't have a big go at me, have a big go at NASA, and say to them, what have you been doing, you crazy bunch of people? Huh? Sending people in the moon with inside a cardboard box? What are you? Why are you laughing like this? Why? Stop laughing. Hey, I'm talking to you. So, there. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. Go and look for the pictures yourself. You might think this was done for a school play, but no, sadly no. This was not done for a school play. This was done by NASA for the American government and for you. And I hope you enjoy your ego exploding and screaming around inside your head, saying, no, it's not true, it's not true. And then you look at this, and your ego has to say, I know, fuck all. Okay, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. Excuse my French. Bye bye.
That was it.
Sunrise will make me realize there's more to life than what we have
I just read oh, Dag Nabbit. Oh, I hope that wasn't too much music and gets this flagged and copyrighted. Anyway, I can close this. I don't know what I'm doing actually. Not the first time that's been said. Victoria Abbott, I love your comment. She just wrote, I love Antonio's commentary. Well, thank you very much. Tell you what, there I am, I think. Am I? I've just come out of the shower. Whilst that was on, I was, I needed to take a shower. Oh, I'm showing my hair. Anyway, nice and slicked. Hello, Indrid Cold. Indrid Cold. Does anybody know anything about Indrid Cold? Has anybody heard about Indrid Cold? Let me go back. Forgive all the... No, actually, I was going to say, forgive the mess. No, don't forgive the mess. Enjoy it. You know how cats become ultra intelligent if they're surrounded by a chaotic environment and they become depressed and lethargic in a minimalist home? My cat is a genius. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go back to the NASA thing. Obviously, I made that before I realised more things about the world. One of the things I said in it was, NASA, what have you been doing with the money? What they've been doing with the money is building underground bases. That's right. So, let's imagine this scenario. You're in an underground base. There's grass, there's trees, there's fruit, there's people. There's a ceiling, but you don't see the ceiling. You see the sky. Because the ceiling is blue and has the sun in it, just like a Koilux lamp. And at night, it has the moon in it, just like the Koilux lamp. Yeah, they have one with the moon too. It's the same as the sun. It's the same principle, the same holoprismatic nexus. And when I do this, I'm playing the role of a field line or a filament going that way around the world. Well, actually coming off the ground, up and across. And another field line going up and that way, and up and that way. But these field lines are filaments. And where they cross, there's a bit more energy. So imagine that this has 0.01 illumination. And this has 0.01 illumination. Together they have very little illumination. But where they cross over, oh, now they have 0.2 illumination. So you get more and more and more and more crossed over. And you end up with the sun. What does it look like when you look at the sun? It looks like a bundle of filaments bunched together. And from time to time you get a black one, which is a vortex going the other way. Oh my gosh, is that true? Yes, just look. Okay, so on the ground, sky, birds, wind, humidity, moisture, all of those things, because they're all necessary. Now, this is not the case, but I'm going to say this. Couldn't we be in that situation now already? Could we not already be in an underground world with an artificial sky? We're not, okay? We are not, because if we were, I would not have been able to figure it out, okay? I've been able to figure it out because it's natural, and all you have to do is look, ask for divine inspiration, and wait, and watch, because divine inspiration is very clever. Now, here's the thing. I have cancer, or had cancer, I'm not sure. I'm waiting for a checkup to see if I still have it, okay, because I've not had any treatment other than the self-administered treatment. But don't think that I'm doing this on my own. I'm doing this with the help of 2 other angels. You see, let's look at Greek mythology for a second. Wait, let me put my hat on. I feel really self-conscious. One sec. Okay, Greek mythology, the Muse. Okay, so what's the Muse? What is a Muse? What is a Muse? People who don't really know think a Muse is anything that you can look at, observe, evaluate, assess, or appreciate that changes you in such a way that you want to express it. Okay, that's what the artist will consider the Muse. That's not what the Muse is. The Muse embodies you. That's what the Muse is. Okay, the Muse is a thing that incorporates itself into you. It is not outside. It is in you. In the same way that the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, it's not out there, it's in the eye of the beholder. So it's the Muse inside. We all know that people can be possessed, like truly, really, and like seriously, okay? Now, we don't have to go into what kind of possession, okay? Is it demonic? Is it parasitic? Is it, what is it, okay? Is it electromagnetic? Whatever it is, it's definitely electromagnetic. There's no way that it isn't, okay? So whether it be demonic or, you know, the result of that technology, not important. What's important is that possession is a real thing. If you don't think that what I'm saying is true, go and watch the documentary on Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison, because they speak to some of the prisoners there. And one of the prisoners there explains how he's on death row because he met a woman one time. She was lovely. She invited him back and he went back to her place. Lovely, you know, and they were having fun, and her 10-year-old son walked in and caught them, and the man murdered the 10-year-old son and the woman, and immediately took himself to the police station. And this is the prisoner in this prison, and he's explaining, no idea what happened. That's possession. If you don't think possession happens, well, you don't know much about the world. Okay, now, think this. If possession is possible, which it is, that doesn't mean that you can only be embodied by a demon or some parasitic thing. You can also be embodied by a Holy Spirit. Hello? You can be embodied by an angel. You could be an angel. The brilliant little poem about when things got hard, you know, footprints in the sand. You know that poem about Jesus walking with you, and when things got really hard, and you look back and you could only see one set of footprints, and that's when Jesus was carrying you. That's what that's explaining, okay? The story of Jesus is supposed to be accepted and understood as a way of processing the world, as a way of living, of seeing, of maneuvering the world. Like really, the world. Not just your thoughts about it, the real world. There's a fire. You can think, ooh, somebody should go and put that fire out. Or you can get up and go, put the fire out yourself. You go in and putting out the fire, it's something that has happened in the world. It's something you do in the world. You can do the same thing with Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. It doesn't matter who. It genuinely does not matter who. But I will say this, for power in terms of energy and things you can't explain to other people, the most powerful, bar none, is Jesus. That's right. If you look at a hierarchy of magi or wizards, there is no higher possible wizard than, we're going to say Gandalf, than Jesus. The epitome, the highest, the no higher possible, Jesus. And I'm not a Christian, guys, but I understand it, okay? Which is how I know how to use it. One of the things that's healing me is the power of the universe, and one of those powers is the power that's referred to as Jesus. What does Jesus do? He heals. Okay. There are two gentlemen that I know who are helping me with this. These two gentlemen are human beings, just like you and me. Please Please do not let your world be modified by people who do not have good intentions for you, like people who tell you that the word human means monster, okay? Because they're talking shit. It's like when children say, we're going to say that the word shoe is really apple, okay? So I'm going to say, hey, where are my apples? They're doing the same thing. Human means monster. No, it fucking doesn't. The word human predates a Black's Law dictionary. Morons. So stop it, okay? So these two men are human beings that are also angels. We are here. We are here, people. We are the ones that we've all been waiting for. Oh, when are the wise ones going to come? When are the wise ones coming? When are the prophets coming back? We are here. For God's sake. Imagine not for his sake, because he doesn't need. But, kind of, you know. Or for thanks to God's will. Do you see? Do you see? That's why I said, Indrid Cold. Hello. I'm doing it like this. I was practicing this the other day. I wanted to do it as a little... I was going to do a blackface video, but I changed my mind. But anyway, I was going to do this. Hello, I'm normal. I'm normal. Because it looks so freaky, yeah? Hello, I'm Indrid Cold. My name is Indrid Cold. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look into it. Okay, so who was Indrid Cold? Indrid Cold was from the pond of the Maya. That's right, from another pond called Lanulos. That's a pond where the Maya came from, okay? It's the next pond. So, Indrid Cold came here, spent 50 years in this pond, dealing with people, not just on his own, with other guys too, from his pond. There's a British lord, like lord, ex-head of the royal security. So, ex-head of the Queen's security in Britain, this lord, forget his name, it's not important, who has met these fellas. How do I know? Because he has said it publicly that he has met them. You've never heard this. Why not? Because the mouth of Sauron doesn't want you to hear. What's the mouth of Sauron, Antonio? The mainstream news. What do you think it was? The mainstream is the mouth of Sauron. The Lord of the Rings is a parable and a mythology, just like the Bible and the Quran and the others. Okay? So, I totally lost where I was going. Yes, so this guy, he met them. Not important. The point is, these people exist. Okay? I know they exist. How do I know that they exist? I've seen them. With these. I have seen them. They tend to have either blondish or gingerish hair, or dark brown or black hair. There tend to be I think it's just one race, okay, because I've only seen the one race. It's not like, you know, it wasn't like, here's a guy that's kind of Caucasian-ish, and here's a guy that's kind of a different race-ish, or here's a guy that's a blend of race. No, they seem to be all the same race, okay? They are much older than our current kind of gene pool here, because our gene pool was resuscitated. Our original gene pool, it doesn't start, okay? It's as old as God itself. So, those guys have finished. Their world is the world where what's the New World Order plan, which is for all the races of this pond to interbreed, so there ends up being just one race for the Earth pond. That way there'll be no more racism. That's the idea. But then also there's no the beauty of the differences of the other cultures. Okay, but what do you want? What do you want more? the beauty of the other cultures or no racism and shit. You know. Anyway, not important. Nature takes its course, so people are going to have to breed with whoever they fall in love with, and it doesn't matter what colour they are. So the point is, I've seen these guys. Okay, I have not actually seen Indrid Cold. I am not Indrid Cold. It's a joke. Okay, I'm just bringing attention to it. Look into it, folks. Indrid Cold. Don't get misled into the Mothman. Okay, the Mothman is a diversion. It was to distract from Indrid Cold. Okay, or possibly Indrid Cold was here because the Mothman was here too, and it was a way of monitoring, establishing. I don't know. I need to read up on it. I've ordered the books. So, I'm saying this because this guy, Indrid Cold, he looked like a normal human being, perfectly normal human being. But could speak telepathically. Could speak normally too, but could speak telepathically. And do speak telepathically. These beings exist in the real world. Like in reality, not in the world of fantasy, not in the world of NASA and Pluto and distant planets and Tesla roadsters being flung to other planets. Can you believe that people think that's true? There are people that I thought were intelligent people, like my friend Peter Igo, thinks that they sent a freaking car to Mars. How retarded! You think they can throw a car at a light in the sky? And you think that because you saw it on TV, you can't track it? Dude, wow. You need to wake up, bro, because you only have one life. So, anyway, this was going to be short. Yes, I just wanted to say this. When you feel hopeless, like this started explaining about the family and the tragedy they're going through. The truth is this, okay? And it's undeniable, and it's going to seem harsh, but it's true. And the truth is not politically correct. We all die. Die is the next day. Dying is like the next day. It's like, that's it, you've qualified to go to heaven. You're qualified to the next place, whatever, okay? The point is, we all die. It's not biggie. It really is not biggie. But from here, people think it's a big deal. From there, we know it's not a big deal. We know. It's like, you're going to be in Earth for 60 years without your, whatever, okay? A loved one, okay? So, here's a person going to be this long missing their loved one, and when they die, they go to heaven, and when they go to heaven, it feels like a half a second. Like it didn't happen, like it was nothing, like it was like, oh, because most of this world is illusion. So it's like, oh, right, wait. So it was an illusion that he'd gone or that she'd gone. It was just an illusion. It was just the physical, the physical part, the material part that is electromagnetic in nature and illusory. That part gave the impression that the person had gone. But no, the person wasn't that. That was the vehicle they were using. The person is still here. Just because you're not in the same room as your parents doesn't mean that your parents no longer exist. Okay? That's how it goes. And if you understand this, you can communicate with them. My father is helping me. My grandfather is helping me. Like really, there are times when I'm sat there and I don't have schizophrenia and I don't hear voices, okay? There are times when I sit there and my alarm goes off because it's the next round for taking some more of the stuff that I take, okay? So, but I'm watching something and my alarm goes off and I go, oh, I'll get it in a minute. And sometimes they're like, okay. And I do, but I forget sometimes. And, oh, damn, there's 20 minutes have passed, okay? No biggie. But other times, I'm like, I'll do it in a minute. And my father says, you'll do it now. So I do it now. Anyway, just wanted to share all of this, folks. There are people out there who think I might be having a breakdown. That's okay. People can think that all they want. But the truth is, this is a very interesting world. when you get cancer, you have a choice. You can go for the conventional route, or you can choose your own route, or a route that has been found by somebody else and was successful for somebody else. Bear in mind, just because it was successful for somebody else doesn't mean it was successful for you. Just for one thing, you don't know if their blood type is the same. You don't know if do they have IBS? You know, you don't know. So just because something is successful for one person does not mean it's going to be successful for others. Okay, this is what happens, and this is part of the reason that there's all these problems with people who have cancer cures, and then people try them and they die. Okay, so, and that happens, folks. Okay, the Gerson therapy works for lots of people, but not all. So you have to bear that in mind. It's your responsibility. Your health is your responsibility. It's not your doctor's responsibility. It's not your government's, and it's not your family. It's your responsibility, as long as you're an adult, okay, and not retarded. If you're retarded, then it's your carer's responsibility. So, look after yourself. If you get cancer, make your decision. You can follow the conventional route, and that can be fine. It can be fine. It can also not be fine, okay? So, like Stephen Gray, Dr. Stephen Gray of the, Orion Project, okay? That guy had cancer and had a treatment, he's still around now. So, just because people suffer massively from the conventional treatment doesn't mean that all people suffer massively from the conventional treatment and that all suffer the same way that not all people are cured by alternative treatments. Not all people are harmed equally by the conventional treatment. But the conventional treatment kills a lot more people than the alternatives because a lot more people use the conventional than the alternative. Okay? Right. Now what's happening is more people are surviving, being diagnosed with cancer, not following the conventional, and surviving. And the pharmaceutical companies are freaking out, and the oncology departments are freaking out. I know this because I'm involved with them. They don't want to scan me, because if they give me the all clear, they have to acknowledge that I cured cancer without their help. So they don't want to give me a scan. That's the situation right now. They don't want to give me a scan. They're using the COVID thing. Doesn't matter. I've explained it before. There's other ways of finding out. But the point is this. When something happens in your life that really makes you stop and consider things calmly and serenely and soberly, you come to the conclusion that it's your responsibility and it's your fault. So, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.